On September 4th, 1992, the town of Redacted was legally voided. A biological safety zone declaration was filed with zero public notice. No evacuation was recorded. No residents were ever officially relocated. The town simply stopped existing on paper. What you're looking at is a USGS Topographic Survey Map, Series 7, printed in March of 1992. It was recovered from a state archive filing box that had been mislabeled as agricultural drainage records, obsolete. Someone wanted this buried in a bureaucratic landslide. It nearly worked. In the margin, handwritten, not stamped, 4 words: biological safety zone. Alpha, not beta, not a provisional classification. Alpha, in federal containment taxonomy, alpha designations are reserved for situations where the threat is considered self-perpetuating, not contained, self-perpetuating. Below the notation, underlined twice: do not attempt re-entry. This isn't a warning for civilians. The language is directed at federal personnel. The hole at the map's center corresponds precisely to the town's geographic coordinates. Whatever burned through this map burned through the exact location of Redacted. We don't believe that's a coincidence. This photograph was taken from a moving vehicle at an undisclosed date. The photographer has never been identified. It was uploaded once to a now-deleted regional history forum under the file name don'tgoback.jpg. The original post contained no text, only the image. And then the account was gone. The sign reads, "A progressive community, standard civic boilerplate." But where the town name should be, the reflective sheeting has been physically removed, not peeled, not painted over, clawed. The metal beneath is scored in lateral striations approximately 2 inches apart. We've had the image analyzed. The force required suggests something with considerable grip strength. Nothing municipal carries tools that leave marks like that. Note the fog. Local meteorological records for this region show no significant fog events during the relevant period. What you're seeing isn't weather. The road beyond the sign is completely consumed by it. No landmarks, no tree line, no horizon. Just a corridor that leads somewhere the light doesn't reach. The photographer stopped here. We don't know if that was a choice. This image is the one that broke the research team, not the dashcam footage, not the termination log, this. Because this is mundane, this is a grocery store. Honey Nut Cheerios, Fruit Loops, familiar fonts, familiar colors. The architecture of a normal Tuesday afternoon in a small American town. And then you see what's growing on it. The mass is black, not mold black, biological black. It has visible vasculature, vein structures, branching and recurrent, running across and through the product packaging. and yet the food itself appears perfectly intact. Cheerios visible through the cellophane. No rot, no compression. The mass isn't consuming these products. It is preserving them. For what purpose we cannot say. In mycological literature, there are fungi that preserve their hosts. Keep them viable, keep them fresh. They do this because a living host is more useful than a dead one. We are not saying this mass is fungal in origin. We are saying the behavioral profile is consistent with something that has a use for what it covers. Whatever left, redacted, or whatever stayed, it was not finished with the town when the maps were burned. March 14, 1992, 6 months before the voiding declaration. This dashcam image was pulled from a vehicle registered to a county road inspector. The inspector filed no report for this date. His employment record ends 2 weeks later with a notation, voluntarily resigned. No forwarding contact. He has not appeared in any public record since. The entity beneath the streetlight is bipedal. It is standing. It appears to be waiting. But the geometry of the body is wrong in a way that is difficult to articulate clinically. The limbs are spindly, elongated past anatomical possibility. The joints do not correspond to standard skeletal mapping. The shoulders sit too low. The head, if that is what it is, tilts at an angle, suggesting either severe structural injury or a neck that functions on a different axis than ours. The vehicle did not stop. The footage continues for another 4 minutes. Uninterrupted road, no further anomalies. But at the 2-minute mark after passing the figure, the inspector can be heard on the audio track. He says one thing quietly, as if to himself. It turned to look. The camera was forward-facing. He would have had to watch it in the mirror. Whatever it was, he saw its face. He never described it, and then he stopped working, and then he stopped existing in any record we can find. This is the last document in the chain, a termination log, a classification we had never encountered before beginning this investigation. It is not a decommission notice. It is not a demolition order. The specific language used throughout this document refers not to the town's infrastructure, but to the town's existence as a recorded entity. They were not shutting redacted down. They were unmemorying it. Two stamps dominate the document's face. The first, departed from public record. The second, and the one we cannot find precedent for anywhere in federal archival literature, Null Point detected. We do not know what a null point is. We do not know what detecting one requires. We do not know what it means for a location to have one. What we know is that this phrase was significant enough to require its own official seal. Someone made a stamp for this. Someone used it more than once. Do not look back. We don't know who wrote that. We don't know if it was meant as a warning about the town, about what happened there, about what might still be in there, waiting under a street light for someone to drive past, or whether it was a warning about the investigation itself. We are still looking for the photographer. We are still looking for anyone who lived in Degraded before September 1992. So far, we have found no one who will speak on record. We have found several who won't. If you recognize this town, do not comment below. Contact the address in the description. Use a name that isn't yours.